and gentlemen, welcome back, Ross Automotive. 2009, I'm going to get right to the point, but I'm going to also run you through what I did, and I'm going to show you just one thing. 2009 Pontiac G6 with a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. Customer complaint on this vehicle was that the car has been dying on him, so alternator is out. That his diagnostic is the alternator needs to be replaced. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't even hook a scan tool to it, ordinarily, because if the customer don't want to pay for nothing but the exchange of the alternator. He sourced the alternator himself. He got that ordered in, mail order. But I want to make a video out of it anyway, and so I'm going to go ahead and go the extra step of showing you the screen over here. So I'm going to try to keep my noggin out of the way so you can see. Of course, I've been charging it as well. So you see here, we've got a whole host of exhaust cam position, coolant thermostat, fuel system, tooling, and all that good stuff. Now, in a case like this here, where the customer has ran the battery down until the car quits, I'm not worried about these codes. I just wanted you to show that. I wanted you to see this. You know, my thought on this is going to be as follows: with the battery dying out the way it has been, because the alternator is not charging it, and yes, I did stick a meter on top to make sure that the alternator was actually indeed not charging. I looked up service information on it, sort of, kind of. I know the system, and this is pretty straightforward. Actually, I will go ahead and clear, for one, we're going to go and clear these codes out of here. I want to do that before I unhook the battery, just because. Okay, real quick, I guess you figure out that I am using a snap-on, and the one thing about the snap-on that I got these guided component tests on there. It's a 2.4 liter VIN B, it says, 2009 Pontiac G6. That is correct. So here we go to the charging system. This is a 2-pin connector charging system, component information, and in the component information it'll tell us a little bit about the system. And, well, come on now. Okay, 2-pin connector, there's your pin assignment. Ignition positive, energized, number 1 battery positive sense. That's the red trace on here. And I'm not going to read through there. Basically, what they want us to do in a DC voltage test, if we want to do it, it tells you with the key on, engine off. That is what key EO means. Should the voltage basically coming from the battery positive sense wire, the red wire, and a known good ground on your meter. I'm using this, so you don't have to use that. The regular voltmeter is sufficient. Your voltage, key on, engine off, should be 0.5 to 1.3 volts. We're going to view this on the meter. I've already hooked that up, and if we're looking here, I hope you can see this anyway. Well, wait a minute. Your live data on it is 1.18. So 1.2 fluctuates a little bit. Of course, that's a scope, so it's going to do that. But I am there. I'm in the voltage range. I'm going to call this, for right now, I'm going to call this good enough. We'll bring you along on the actual repair. As like I said, I've been charging the battery a little bit while I'm doing this, so the turn signal switch that also got the light control on it for this vehicle has been broken off, so I can't even turn the friggin' lights off this thing. So disconnect the negative battery cable. Don't matter. I mean, either or. Doesn't really matter. 10 millimeter on the battery. It should be if it's factory. If that doesn't change. Oil cap comes off. Unclip your housing, your air filter housing on top. Unplug the mass airflow. Remove a hose. Breather hose, and the whole entire top comes off of it. I'm going to put this back up here just so the dirt don't get in it. Alternator. Let me get you over here, get you a shot of this, because I know people complaining because I get camera lazy sometimes, which I do. So no argument. Alternator is right here. I said it 1,000 times, I'm going to say it 1,001 times. If unclear what you're going to face when you're taking the alternator off, look at your part. So 1 hole, 2 hole, 3 hole. Okay, so we know that there should be 3 fasteners on the alternator. I'm going to bring the camera back up here, so bring you right there. So if you're unsure, the alternator is going to sit, or is going to sit, sits in here just like that. So look at your alternator here when you hold it right here. So you have 1, 2, 3 bolts for sure. Got your plug in right here. It's a 2-wire, and you got your battery terminal right here on the side. So that being said, if you're looking at it, it's kind of facing down, so it's not going to be super easy to get to, but not a problem in any event. We'll go ahead and unplug our control wire. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight to the battery terminal. Hopefully that is factory 13 millimeter. We'll go ahead, head straight for the 13 millimeter. See if this is going to work for us. 13 millimeter was the ticket. That is what that was. The new one is the same way. It's also a 13 millimeter. Because I'm going to go into a tight place, I like to put on these gloves. Kind of protect my cut on my hand here a little bit uncomfortable, so kind of protect it a little bit. So I'm going to put these gloves on. We're going to reach in here, get to our tensioner, kind of lay it off to the side so I don't do anything with it. Let me get a light. That is the first thing we need to do. Get us a little bit of illumination on the situation. All right, this looks like this tensioner here is going to have a 3/8 square, like essentially a ratchet. Oh heck, I'm on the I was on the button. I couldn't figure out why my freshly charged light is going out. I'm going to yank this breather out real quick. You know I'm a fan of removing stuff, so if it's going to make it to where I can see more, I don't mind removing something 100%. And that's literally all it takes on these here. Unclip. Okay, yeah, that is it. We got to unclip the fitting here for our AC line. That turns out to be more work than what I thought it was going to be. Well, there's a push release, by the way. You're supposed to reach underneath and push on that little tab and be able to open it right up. I say that right there is what happens when you go live in front of a camera. For some reason now this don't cooperate with me. That actually essentially never fails. Especially once we tell somebody how fast something is to take it out. So this opens me up a little bit better here on the side to get to my belt tensioner. Almost a chain tensioner. Belt tensioner. I thought that was a 3/8 square. We'll find out here in just a second. Get this lined up. Lord of mercy. I ain't never, this is an easy chain, I done it again. This is an easy tensioner to really take off, and I cannot get this thing to cooperate with me tonight to save my life. So, this is real life right here, right there. You know, this is the stuff that we run into all the time. And if you don't have the patience, you can't get mad at it, because once you're mad, you might as well walk away. It's over at that point in time. So, I'm not saying I don't get mad, because I do get mad. But it don't do a darn bit of good to get mad at it. Okay, I'm going to try not to lose the whole entire thing. Hopefully they'll sit there. Should be a 14 millimeter bolt that holds the alternator in place. May have been wrong. That may be a 13. Let me see. That did loosen it up, but I don't think it's the right size. I think I erred in what I was telling you. I think that may be a 13 millimeter, not a 14. Maybe my eye calibration is off a little bit. And remember from when we held the alternator up there, so, and this, again, this is the reason why we did this. So I can't see the actual bolt head, but I do know that it's pretty much straight across from it, that it's on the bottom side of the bend. So I do know that. We should be able to feel our way straight onto that bolt head. Should be down here somewhere. We already knew that though, of course. So this one here can be done with a ratchet. If you have a power ratchet, more power to you. What I do with it? I like this long shaft one here myself. I do really like that ratchet. I use it all the time. That's the lower bolt. Now you got one stud. In order to get the alternator out of here, we're going to have to remove the stud. Alright, got interrupted, sorry about that. Where was I at? Stud. The stud will have to be removed. That one I do not remember. Maybe a 6 millimeter. I'll tell you in just a second. No, that'd be a 5 millimeter or 5.5. Yeah, that's a 5 mil. Well, I'm going to turn this stud out of here. I honestly do not remember if that alternator could even come out if you leave that in there. I highly doubt it, because that is quite long. You see the hex on the top right here? That's your 5 millimeter hex right there that you're going to have to, well, you have to contend with it somewhere. Somewhere, somehow. That's pretty much how easy that one comes out of there. Well, there's your alternator. So at this point in time, even though we've already verified they look similar, we want to check the alternator and see to make sure that they actually do look alike. And in this case here, they do. If you mail order your alternator, keep in mind that even when you get something from like Rock Auto or Parts Guy or something, whatever that is, if you get from them, so you have to, well, I guess you don't have to return the core, but remember, you did pay for a core, so. You'll start with the stud, or at least I do. I like to get the stud back in there. That'll help us line everything back up. Don't tighten that up. Big mistake. You want to get all the bolts started before you tighten anything up. And actually, when you're looking here in the corner, from the corner, you can't actually see the bolt head, so I lied to you. Put your nut on. Although this 1/4-inch drive, a lot of times I find it does almost an adequate job of tightening the bolt up. Don't want to go crazy on it. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a tip real quick. I'm not going to drill down on it, but I'm going to give you a tip real quick. If you're doing something like this and you don't have service information to tighten the bolt up, if you hung up on one of the torque things, you can go on Google and you can find charts that would give you a basic torque for these fasteners. Like in this case here, this would be an M8 fastener, but it goes into aluminum. Google has charts. I know, I've looked at them, I've seen them many times. They have charts that give you advice on what to torque them to if you want to go that route. If you want to get the service information, you can get the All Data DIY. I think Mitchell one, they've got them. No, that's entirely up to you. I'm just saying, if you don't want to spend the money on that, and you do would like to torque something the right way, look it up on Google, readily available. All right, moving on. Of course, we've got all this on it. I would say that next we're going to our wire, the battery terminal wire. Wherever I throwed it, good God Almighty! Oh, I let that fall down. Pontiac don't have a big wire on it, so gotta snake it out of here. Put it on with that. Fought that darn clip over there for a half hour and then grab a freaking wire and put it on with a tool like that. Ain't that something? So far my ratchet has set. Of course, we're not done with it yet.
What? Somebody's here for you.
Alright, sorry about this, been outside talking, don't have no clue where I left off. Where was I at? Okay, we were putting the wire back on. I did not tighten that up yet, I don't think. Go ahead and tighten that nut back up. Put the rubber boot back over it. I'm just checking on something, guys, so All right. Put this, like I said, we're going to slip that boot back over it. Get our connector plug back in. God willing, with any luck, we may even get the belt back on without losing it. I highly doubt it, but we'll give it a try. Have to make sure we're on all the way, and I think we are. Before I do anything else, Lord, get the battery terminal put back on and crank over that vehicle. I know we're going to have to reset codes again because we're going to set some codes in the process, but that's okay. Not a big deal, since the scan tool is still connected to it anyway, so that ain't a problem. Switch the side over here. Hopefully we got us a little bit of charge in the battery right now. Make sure that the belt's on. Alright, looks like that's good to go. Whoa! Since that's already hooked up, we can just go over here. Going all the way up to 18 volts. So if we got charging voltage on it, we should be able to see that right now. Leave that off for just a minute, 14.7. And the headlights are already on. Like I said, crap is broken, so whoa, buddy! Don't want to see any more than that? Got the windshield wipers on, got the bright lights on, got the wipers going, full blast. Well, of course, that's going to choke it down a little bit, so we got a good load on it right now. And considering the fact that all we're hired to do is to switch the alternator, basically. We zoom you back out. You don't have to look at my ugly mug. All right, turn the car back off. So, we got our nut tightened up, we got the alternator tightened up properly. Of course, now we're going to have to put everything back together. Going to replace our housing here. Stick it in there. What? There it is. Put our 10 mil back on, put our bracket back in here, clip it back in. There it is. Still didn't have it. Whoops. Whoops again. This here will push on. Same on the other side. Whoop, gotta take cap off. Cap back on. Snap them back in. Put the housing back together. Clips back on. Lock the mass airflow on. Slide the lock. Get the hose back on, put the clamp back on, over it. Pretty straightforward job, not too difficult. So, there we are. Go ahead and turn the key back on. I'm assuming we set a bunch of codes. Mass airflow, intake air temp, of course, they would have been set. it doesn't matter what it is, I'm not worried about those codes. These two here, I just set. I am worried about those. We'll let that finish scanning, clear all the codes one more time, tag it, bag it, ship it. So that's just the way it's going to be. Like I said, this customer here was very specific. He don't want me to check, he just want me to replace it. Doing it twice just for good measure. Not going to even rescan it. This is it. Guys, appreciate everybody. Subscribe to the channel. Give me comments. Good or bad. Take them all. And we are going to see you on the next adventure.